Today we're going to be installing some awesome engine compartment lights in this C8 Corvette.
Hi, I'm Jennifer and you're watching the Corvette channel.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott and today we are going to be talking about some awesome engine compartment lighting from Boosted Lighting Solutions for your C8 Corvette. Now you can see the lights that are working back here behind me, and that is just one of many displays that it can do. I'm going to move a couple here around with the remote, and you can see that there's this like even a bright white one that you can pick. But you can do static colors, you can do lots of different things, and that's all from this included remote control. It also has a web app, okay? So you'll be able to go in and customize exactly what you want the buttons to do, and we'll have a video on that also, okay? First of all, I just want to thank Anthony over at Boosted Lighting Solutions for letting me do an installation video. When I first saw his install video, I told my wife, I go, you know, I'm going to reach out to this gentleman and see if he will sponsor the channel, but I don't really feel that he really needed me. A lot of times, a lot of these manufacturers, they do a great job building stuff, but their videos are not so great. But I got to give it to Anthony. He really did a great job on his video, as well as the web control app, and he goes over that in great detail. And I'm going to actually utilize his video in my video for that, because there's no way in the world that I could do as good of a job to explain how that works than he does in his video. But what I want to talk to you just a little bit about first is that, one, this thing is app controlled. It's also powered by the car. And it's a very simple installation to do it. Takes a little bit of time, a little contorting to get in there. But what we're doing from the original video that Anthony put out, where he has the wires exposed, and he starts out with his wires connected to the lights, and then he runs them down, and he runs them down the hole. And then you get down into where the fan is, and I'm going to show you that. It makes it it's very tight quartered, and it also left the wires exposed with some clips on the screws. After looking at it, I thought, you know, I could probably do the exact opposite way. Open up the bottom, plug it into the fan, plug in the lights, and bring the wire up the backside and tuck it into the halo, which is what I'm going to show you how to do it in the video. That way you don't end up seeing any of the wires, except maybe about that much as it goes down through the drain hole. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this and talk to you about that. This is an up-and-coming system that, first of all, another great detail about this is the fact that this is all US part-based, sourced here in the United States, as well as assembled in the United States. So this is top quality stuff right here, okay? This produces a Wi-Fi signal that you'll be able to join your phone to be able to get to the web app. So you don't really need a web app, it's a web page is really what it is. And he's going to explain that in the video. But he's got other projects that are coming down the horizon. As you know, here we've got a coupe, right? Well, those of you that have a convertible, you're going to want to be able to have this type of stuff too, as you see this is happening. And so he's going to be working on that, and that's one of the projects that's up and coming, as well as underglow lighting. But we've got a good surprise for you, where maybe some of you have seen it, maybe you haven't. But up in the front window, it says Team Corvette up in the top, up by right in front of right above the hood, by the windshield wipers on the glass. And a lot of people, for the longest time, they were putting in a piece of vinyl up in there to kind of like make it red, like the color of their car or whatever. But what Anthony's done is he's developed a circuit board that goes in that exact spot and lights up and is controlled by this remote control. So those of you that have a coupe, you can just install this little guy right here, and then you can also use your the same remote to be able to run the Team Chevrolet or Team Corvette light up in the dash. Now, those of you that either have a convertible or you've chose not to want to do engine compartment lighting and you just want that other unit up for the windshield, you can do that also. But you'll have to buy the kit that comes with the remote control. And so when you go to their website, that will be explained, but you can save some money by doing it together, okay? Buy it as a package where you're only using one remote control. So anyway, I'm gonna cover the Team Chevrolet or Team Corvette light in a separate video, but I just wanted to tell you, I mean, he built this with all this forethought. And I totally love it. It's just an awesome system. And I wanted to be able to have it displaying behind me while I was talking to you so you could see what it's doing ahead of time before we get into the install, okay? So at this point, I want you to sit back and relax, and I'm gonna show you how you install it. Before we get started, I want to show you what you get in the box. First of all, you got a really nice looking box here. We're going to open it up, and you're going to see it's all foam inside here. We're going to move this lid over the other way here. We've got Anthony's card. It's got all of his information on it right here. Okay, so in case you need to get a hold of him. And then you've got all of the parts here. And what you've got the instruction kit as well as the QR codes to be able to get to the installation and his installation in web app video, as well as all of the other basic instructions here like that on how to connect to the web app and the remote. You've also got your two replacement lights. You've got your harness and you've got your remote and you've got your two batteries included. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. The car up on the lift. Now you guys don't have to have a lift to do this. You just got to get this wheel off to be able to get access to this wheel well. And then we're going to take out these screws right here. And hopefully my glasses are picking this all up. We're going to take this one, and this one out. These are 15 torques. And we'll get those out of the way right now. That feels like something's broken inside there on that one. Yep, we'll find that out here in just a minute. All right, let's get those set down. Let's go ahead and go to our 7mm, which is right here, and hopefully you guys can see this, okay? And this one right here. All right, so we'll get those out of the way. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull this back. And you can use a pry tool if you want, or you can just use your hands. Just a little bit easier there. So let me see what happened here. That one did break off. Well, when I'm putting that back together, I'll fix this for the customer. I'm not sure. She does race this car, so probably I'm going to guess something hit it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to just kind of tuck this out of the way here so you guys can see this. We'll leave that open. Let me get the flashlight up inside here. Now, again, hopefully you guys can see that. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be taking this plug loose. This is the plug to the fan. So it's just a disconnect right there. You can hear it clicking. We're just going to pull that free like that. So we'll do this, and that just comes loose like so. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our harness that it came with. Okay. There's two harnesses. One is the T-tap here, and that is just going to go in here like so. And then you just want to make sure that it snaps in place. And you hear that? And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug this one right into here. Okay, there you go. All right, so it's done. So now that we got the cable, the T down below, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this one single cord and we're going to plug it and push it down this hole. You can see right there, it just went right down. Okay, and we'll just tuck it down there a little bit right there. It's like that. And we'll leave this cable up here on top. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to go fish it out of here. Okay, it'll be up in here. And let me see if I can get a spot here to see it with the camera. See there? I can just see it. We'll go ahead and we'll get that pulled around. So it's just going to be laying up in there. Okay. You want to make sure that it does not get anywhere near that fan. Okay. And now all we're going to do is we're just going to take this little guy, and we're going to plug it in. It's only keyed to go one way. And there you go. Okay. So now you saw how easy that was. Okay. A lot of sharp edges up here. And I've had a few of my friends that have tried to install these themselves and they've cut their arms up really good. You see, I didn't really have to fight it at all. So there's plenty of room. Okay. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and we can pull this cable back up out of the hole now. Okay. All right. There we go. So now we've got plenty of cable. You can see right there. It'll go all the way over to the lights. So now what we're going to do, we're going to leave this open. Okay, we're just going to leave this kind of tucked up here. And the reason I say that is because we want to test it. Okay, so once we get our lights plugged in, we'll go ahead and we'll test it. We'll put all this back together. But until then, we're going to go back up on top. So now what we've got is we've got a 15, there are 15 Torx here that we're going to use to pull these lights out. Okay, so we've got those right here. There we go. I don't want to drop these screws, so we're just going to tuck them up over here. Okay. Okay, and there's that one. And once we get these out, then we'll talk about what you may or may not have if you are doing yours. If you have the convenience lights, the courtesy lights in your car, then it'll be just like this one. If you don't, then not a big deal because it comes with the clips. We're just going to tuck these away like that. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to disconnect these. So now what you're going to do, you're going to take your red tab, you're going to pull that out. Then you're going to press on this back clip right here, right behind there, and that just comes off. And we're going to take this light, and we'll set it out of the way. We're going to do the exact same thing over here. The red tab, press the little clip on the back. We're going to pull those out. All right, so now these wires here will not get used. You're just going to abandon those. Now, if you didn't have the convenience lights from the factory, you won't have this harness, and you won't have these clips. You can see these clips right here. They are provided in the kit, so you'll be able to put those in, and the screws come with the kit also, so you can put your lights back in. But since this one's already got them, we don't have to worry about that. All right, guys, once we've got the initial factory lights out, what we're going to do is we've got to get ourselves prepped a little bit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take these 7mm screws out here. We'll go ahead and we'll get those little guys out. Okay, they're not in super tight or anything, but there's one here, one here. Let's set those over here. We've got one here. That one was kind of loose. All right, so we'll get this one out of here. And then what we can do is what we want to make sure we do here, guys, is we want to make sure that we put our wire up around here and that it's just kind of flopping around right here, okay? What we're going to end up doing is we're going to go ahead and we're going to hook the lights up. So they go in place. They are keyed. You can't get them wrong. Plug that in. Okay. And we'll plug this one on. Okay. Now that we've got that, we'll go through the joining process. Let's make sure that they're snapped in place. Can you see that? They are in training mode. They're in learning mode between the remote control and the remote control and the lights themselves. Okay, so now while we're here, we might as well go ahead and join them together. Now, what that does tell us, guys, is that the wiring is actually working, and so we're good down below. All right, so it comes with the kit, comes with the batteries, and we're just going to go ahead and put the batteries in, like so. And then what you're going to do is you're going to press the number 3 button, and you saw the lights flash, right? That just paired the remote to the lights. Okay. So you can see, guys, that it has the clips already installed right here and here and here and here. If your light kit, if you didn't have a light kit, you would have to use the clips that they provide in the package. Okay, but this one already has it, so we're going to go ahead and we'll be able to use that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this light up in here. We'll get this one started. Kind of get the original blue cable out of the way. Again, if you didn't have lights, then you wouldn't have those wires to have to tuck around. This one here, we're just going to tuck it up in here like so. Just going to go kind of up and out of the way. You see right there, like that. We'll get this one. I mean, you're not tightening these all the way anyway. You're just kind of just getting them started, getting them snug. And then we'll go back once we get the other lights in. Then we'll go ahead and get it wired up. We'll get it tucked away. So let's grab our screws. Okay, get that one going. Okay, like that. We'll do this one. Now we can go ahead and we can snug those up. All right, there we go. So now what we can do is we can go ahead and we can pull these little guys off now because we know we got them marked right where they're mounted where they go. So we can pull those off. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this. We're going to use our little pry tool. We're going to insert that in there just like that. It's going to lift this up, allow us to get it around there. We're just going to tuck it away. Now, if you saw in the original video, you saw in Anthony's video here, that this was these were originally just screwed onto the screws. And I didn't like how that looked. So I was talking to Anthony, and he says, why don't I film it like this? So that's what I'm doing. Just like that. Do another one right here. All right. Cut these. Okie dokie. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the exact same thing. Use the pry tool. Lift that up just a little bit. And get this to go around. And we're going to tuck these little guys right there behind. Just like so. Okay, and then you can see that wire is now tucked behind there. And then we'll pull this one out of the way. We're actually going to be able to tuck this one and take this wire. We're going to stuff it up there just a little bit farther, just like that. Okay, And then we'll get those tucked away up inside. That way we don't have to fight with it. You can see that because we're not going to need those clips anymore. All right, and then what we've got is we've got our 3 screws. Okay. All right, so now I'm done up here on top, and we can go ahead and we can turn the remote on, and we can go ahead and check it. And we see that it's working. Now that we've got our wire tucked around here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our 15 Torx out of this fender. Okay, we're just going to give it a little bit of room to, we'll pry it up a little bit. We're going to tuck this wire around. And I know I'm going past the hole, but what I'm doing is trying to make sure that I don't overflex this bumper. Okay, so we're just taking those screws out. Let's get our old lights out of the way. Okay, we'll set these down. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our pry tool. Okay, and we'll basically utilize it kind of just like that. So we're going to take this, bring that around. We're going to tuck this up in there like so. Up as far as I can get it up in there. You can see I'm taking it and I'm pushing it up inside the fender, just like this. Okay, just like that. I'm going to push it just past this screw hole where it doesn't go through the screw, and then we do that. We can get this tucked away up in there like so. There's just enough wire, guys. Totally just enough to get that to go up in there. So when we tighten it down, it's going to pinch that. It's not going anywhere, and then it comes out right here. So you can see how that's going to look. Very, very little bit of wire. So let's go ahead and grab our screws again. We'll go ahead and be able to put these in. Go ahead and just start tucking it down. Just like that. And the last two. Alright. So we got that. We've got our wire tucked up here. It's going all the way around here. All the way around here. We're golden. Now you can't see it. It just looks like a factory wiring job right here.
Hey everyone, so you've installed your Boosted Lighting Solutions C8 Engine Bay Lighting Kit. You've probably gone through some of the settings on the remote, figured that out, and now you kind of want to play around with the app or maybe see your battery voltage or check the temperature of your engine bay. So this is a video for you. We're going to go ahead and go through a lot of the settings on the web app so that you can configure the LEDs to your liking as well as see some of those parameters. There's going to be a lot of info here, so if you have any questions, please leave a comment below or reach out to us at info@boostedls.com. We'll also have this video segmented into different sections so that you can quickly refer back to it. So the info will be right there for you. But again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Your engine bay lights are connected to a built-in Wi-Fi network. This Wi-Fi network will not have internet access, but your phone will be able to connect to it to play around with the lights, change the colors, etc. To connect to the Wi-Fi network, right now we're on an Android phone, and we're also going to show you how to do it with an iPhone. But I'm going to go into my settings here, and here I see boosted lighting 00. Yours will say boosted lighting and then 2 random digits. I'll click that, and your password is going to be the name, it's going to be boosted and then the last 2 digits of the Wi-Fi's network name. So in my case, the password is boosted 00. So I'm going to connect to that. And on Android devices, it will typically ask if you want to maintain connection with this network, and that's because the device is telling you that, hey, you don't have internet access, but that's totally normal. On an iPhone, this menu will pop up within a minute or so. Select Use Cellular Data to continue using your cellular data while connected to the network. So now we're connected. Another thing we're going to want to do is go back into your network settings for the boosted lighting Wi-Fi network. And here on Android, you'll see an auto connect option. On iPhone, this is what you'll see. And we're going to deselect the allow connection to this network when in range. So we're going to turn that off so that your phone doesn't always connect to it every time you get in your car. The web app is only intended to be used when you're programming the remote with your favorite presets, or when you want to view your battery voltage or engine bay temperature. Some devices might not allow the use of cellular data while you're connected to the network, so it's best to only be connected to the network under these circumstances. So next thing we're going to do is go into your favorite web browser. I'm using Google Chrome, you might be using Safari, whatever works. Go into the web address bar and type engine.local. Hit enter, and this will take you into our web app. This isn't an app that you need to install, but I recommend that you go ahead and add it to your home screen. This is how you do it on Android. And this is how you do it on iPhone. Quick overview. So we obviously have the power button, timer, which is the same button on the remote. It sets a 60-minute timer. The sync function we won't go over right now. That's going to be at a later date. Peak gives you a preview of what your LEDs are displaying. Info shows you what version you have as well as what your battery voltage is, and then the temperature of the engine bay. We have a settings page here on the bottom. The screen we're on now is called colors. That's where you can change the colors of the LEDs, of course. Then you have effects, segments, which is more of an advanced feature that we will go into later, and then all of our presets. So the first thing we're going to go over is how to change your button 3 and 4 on the remote. So if you have a favorite color or a favorite effect, this will be the easiest way to access that favorite color or effect without logging into the web app. So as you can see, when I press button 3, as shown in the previous video, our default is bright white. Let's say we wanted to have a custom orange color. So I'm going to go into our color screen here, and I'm going to use the color wheel and find the color orange that kind of matches Sebring orange. So it's maybe a little bit darker. Okay, I think that looks good. So now what we're going to do is head over to presets on the bottom right corner. And here's where you'll see all of your presets. Button 3 is the button we're trying to change. Press the down arrow here and select overwrite with state. Don't change any other parameters. Press save. So now, as you can see, let's go back to colors and change the color to blue. I'm going to press my button 3 now, and it's no longer white. It is now going to be my custom Sebring orange color. So it's pretty much the same process for changing button 4. I'm going to go into effects, and I'm going to select bouncing balls. Going into presets, button 4, same thing, drop down, overwrite with state. So again, whatever state that you currently are in, if it's a blue color, if it's bouncing balls, you're going to overwrite this preset with whatever effect you're on. So we're going to hit save. Now let's select color loop here. I'm going to press button 4. Now you can see bouncing balls is selected. Now since we're on the effects topic, I wanted to show you some changes that you can do to the effect. The sliders on the bottom, the first one adjusts the speed of the effect. I can make it go faster, I can make it go slower. The bottom slider is the intensity slider. This slider allows you to change how strong or intense the effect is. Adjusting the intensity slider will vary depending on each effect. So play around with it on your chosen effect to see how the effect changes as you move the slider. So now if we head over to colors, you'll see these 3 circles here. Here's where we can really customize our LEDs in our different colors. Right now, obviously, we have the C-ring orange color still selected. I'm going to select this slot and change it to red. That wasn't a very good one. Let's go to white. Okay, there you go. Now you can really see the differences there. Let's change this one to green. So now you can see a variation of colors. Also, we can scroll down to see the color palettes. This will change our lights according to the bar below the name of the color. I'll select a few of them so you can get an idea how it will be displayed on the lights. For example, colors only will display orange, white, green, and then orange across the LEDs. So now we're going to move into segments. This is a more, like I said before, advanced feature. I'm going to show you a preset that is already preloaded, and that is the red, white, and blue preset. So as you can see, we have a red, white, and blue displayed on the LEDs. And if you press peak here, you'll also be able to see that that's what's displaying. The LEDs are segmented in rows of 16. If we go over to segments, we have this segmented in 3 different categories. Let's say we wanted to change the first segment to green. We're going to uncheck these 2 boxes and head over to colors and select green. Now you can see only part of the LEDs change to green. Say we want to have Italian colors instead of USA. Go back to segments, uncheck that one. The last segment we're going to change to red. Now we have Italian colors. So it's very versatile. You can change the LEDs to virtually any colors and combinations that you want. You can even add another segment and even further narrow down different colors that you want. So now you're going to want to go back to your presets and change to a different color, because if you forget the segments settings on, you might be trying to change your colors and you're only going to change part of them. So it's best practice to go back and change it back. Now we're going to move on to presets. If you want to add a new preset, you can do that. Let's head over to presets. You can name it whatever you want. Let's say we'll call it favorite. And the quick load label will allow it to go above all of these presets that you're seeing on the screen. That way, if you have a favorite and you want to quickly get to it, it'll save to the top. So let's change it to quick label 1. Save. So favorite is down here now, but you'll also see the number 1 up here. Now we're going to check out our info section. Here's where you're going to see the version, your battery level, and then of course your temperatures. You can see our battery voltage right now is 12.5 0.54 volts. That will update the default is every 15 seconds. When you press refresh, it will update. And then of course your temperature. So we have the current temperature right now is 95 degrees. Your max temperature over a 30-minute time span, which is default, was 95 degrees. Your minimum temperature was 92.3, and the average has been 93.65. You need to make sure, if you want to know the temperature of your engine bay, that you have the LEDs turned off. If you don't, it may skew the engine temperature measurement. Because these LEDs are always connected to the vehicle, any circuit board is going to generate some heat. So when the LEDs are off and say it's 20 degrees in your garage, the LEDs may not show that it's 20 degrees. It's going to be higher because of the temperature of the circuit board. So the effect you're seeing now is the low battery effect. That's when your car's battery reaches around 12.2 volts. This effect will come on anytime your battery gets that low to alert you that you need to attend to your battery. When your battery reaches about 12 volts, that's when the lights will turn off. So if your battery is still at 12 volts, you can override it, but the software will continue turning off your lights. That's when you know you need to charge your battery. So now let's go into our settings, and you really don't want to mess with too many of these settings unless you really know what you're doing, or if you have questions, contact us. We'll make sure to answer them, and we can tweak the LEDs to your liking if needed. But we're going to go ahead and go into our battery voltage and temperature settings. When you scroll down, you'll see auto off and indicator. When your battery reaches 12.2 volts, it will automatically come on. If you don't want this enabled, hit the check mark next to enabled. Auto off is when the battery reaches around 12 volts, the lights will automatically turn off. Again, you can turn them back on whenever you want, but they will continuously turn off until the battery reaches above 12.2 volts. If you don't want this enabled, hit the check mark next to enabled. Both of these will be enabled by default. Now we'll take a look at the temperature settings. The temperature settings shows that the read interval is every 15 seconds. So every 15 seconds it's going to update and tell you the temperature. The time span is set in minutes, and that defaults to 30 minutes. Say you're at the track and you want to know what your temperatures were during a session, or if you come off the track and you want to know what the heat soak of the engine bay is going to be, you can change that, let's say, to 5 minutes, and you will get a maximum, minimum, and average temperature over 5 minutes. Another cool thing about the temperature feature is the LEDs will actually change colors based on the temperature of your engine bay. That's actually one of the presets that you can cycle through on your remote. But if I go ahead and go into presets and look for temperature, so now you can see when it's cold, which is around, let's say, 70 degrees Fahrenheit, they're going to display blue. And as the temperature of your engine bay heats up, it's going to gradually change colors until it gets to red. So that's kind of a neat feature that the temperature sensor also has the capability of doing. Here we're going to simulate how the temperature of the engine bay can change the colors of your engine bay lighting. So as you can see, the max temperature that we got on that test was 165.2 degrees Fahrenheit. So now we'll watch it cool down. We're going to take some compressed air and also simulate how the lights go from a hot color back all the way down to a cooler color based on the temperature of the engine bay. So it gets pretty hot in the engine bay. Our engine bay lights can withstand even hotter temperatures than that. We've engineered it to make sure the intense environment that the engine bay lights are living in won't affect the operation and the materials that the engine bay lights are made of. And that's all, everyone. Again, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave a comment below or email us at info@boostedls.com. We're very excited to share this engine bay lighting kit with you, as well as all the new and upcoming products that we have to offer. So stay tuned for those. Have an awesome day.
All right, guys, you saw that wasn't real hard to install. Well, it doesn't even take that long. It took me longer to be able to get the cameras in place than it was to actually do the work. It's not that big of a deal. The hardest part, I think, is taking the rear wheel off to be able to get into the wheel well. And so really not a big deal. You're just gonna need a floor jack, or if you have a lift, go ahead and use it, but you just gotta get that wheel off. And that's gonna be the hardest thing that you gotta do to install this. And guys, look at this. It's just one mode that happens to be playing right now, but you can set this with the web app, and you saw that in the video. You saw how all the different things that you can do with it. There's so many presets that in there that you can pick whatever you want it to do and assign it to a particular button. So hopefully you found this video helpful and informative, and that you're gonna wanna get one of these for yourself. I know as soon as I saw his video, I was like, oh man, I'm getting one of those. And so I reached right out to him, and I got my goodies going. So anyway, I just want to thank you guys all for watching today. If you guys have not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you'll be alerted of all of our uploads. And until next time, guys, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you for watching the Corvette channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe.
I think the girls with their nails done now.